That's the religious argument, but the question is, how's the church going to actually deal with this thing? And joining me now, the president of the Catholic League and author of Why Catholicism Matters, Bill Donuhue. And Bill, where does this go? Because Father was talking about the fact there's all these cases out there. Do you see this heading up to the Supreme Court?
We'll go to the Supreme Court unless the Obama administration comes to its senses. I mean, look what's happened just in the last 2 weeks. It's amazing. Cardinal Donato of Galveston, Houston, came out and heralded what's happening in Washington right now. In the House Appropriations Subcommittee bill of Labor HHS, they have now introduced two parts of two bills. One, which is an Abortion Non-Discrimination Act, and the other one, a bill by Representative Fortenberry, a very important bill about conscience clauses. They're putting these bills into an appropriations bill. Just recently, we had a bill promoted by Representative Sensenbrenner and Diane Black, a Religious Liberty Tax Repeal Act, protecting religious institutions who will not agree to violate their conscience when it comes to these things. So there's a lot of chatter going on and a lot of bills.
So there's a lot of bills, a lot of politicians getting involved, but that's the House you're talking about. The Senate's run by Harry Reid, right. And he has a different view of all of this.
Right, and they'll have to deal with that. There are over 20 lawsuits already dealing with this. We now have Wheaton College joining, a very prominent Protestant institution, perhaps the most prominent evangelical institution in the country, joining with the Catholic University of America, an extremely prominent Catholic university, in filing suit against this so-called contraception mandate. But let's remember here what happened a couple of months ago, where in the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 that religious liberty counts. That is to say that the government, the Obama administration, does not have the right to police the hiring decisions of religious institutions. And Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I hope people watch this, in her opinion, where she said Obamacare was constitutional, she was very good in pointing out that that does not mean that in implementing Obamacare, you can violate the First Amendment religious freedom rights of people. That, to me, is read as a sign. It's a warning sign to the Obama administration. You better peel back a little bit, give us the status quo ante. Religious liberty has to be respected by the federal government, and if you do, that's fine. Because if they push it, when you got Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Eleanor Kagan, who also joined hands in the ministerial exception case, I'm telling you, I don't think that the handwriting is on the wall is very good for the Obama administration.
So 9-0, and this is, again, like you said, kind of a warning shot about the fact that don't step on the First Amendment as you implement Obamacare, even though they were for Obamacare.
That's right. You also have Catholic charities, pretty much in the liberal wing of the Catholic Church, joining with, of Chicago, joining with the Diocese of Joliet and Springfield, filing suit against the mandate. So you've got Catholics on Protestants, and you've got liberals and conservatives coming together, because at the end of the day, what matters is the First Amendment to the Constitution. I cannot believe that in the year 2012, we're sitting here debating in an election year whether or not Catholics and non-Catholics have the right to obey their own doctrinal scriptures, and instead of being told by the federal government, no, you have to perform services you deem immoral.
Well, the whole thing about the power of the federal government is a whole new world we're living in, Bill. If this doesn't get through, do you see the pulpits preaching to the people, get out there and protest? Are we going to see Catholics in the streets?
Well, first of all, Cardinal Dolan has not ruled out civil disobedience. I think you're going to see a bill being promoted by Representative Walter Jones, a Catholic out of North Carolina, which would repeal the 1954 Johnson Amendment. That is to say, hands off the clergy. The clergy have free speech rights like everybody else. Stop with this notion that if you're a minister, a rabbi, or a priest, you can't come out there and make a political statement. After all, the First Lady came out 2 weeks ago and in a church said it's okay to mix politics and religion. You know what? I think we ought to take her up on it.
All right. Bill Donuhue, thanks for the update.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.